What is up, guys? Welcome back to Season 1, Episode 12 of MaxCraft. When we left off, we were upgrading our base, adding these new concrete pillars. We added these concrete, well, snow supports. Probably not very supportive, but who knows? Maybe it's frozen, maybe it's ice. I think it just looks good with the white coloring and the blue streaking on there. Anyway, guys, so today we have some big plans. As most of you probably know, 1.16, the Nether update, just got released for Minecraft. Now, MaxCraft is not updated yet because I believe we're going to wait until our plugins are available for 1.16. Also, I'm using a lot of mods, most definitely Lightmatica. So I have a few schematics that are left to go in Lightmatica that I want to build before the server upgrades. So today we've got to put in the work. We need thousands and thousands of glass for the Guardian farm, and I want to be able to make that here in my own base. So we're going to take this area here in the corner that is mostly done, mostly filled up with blocks, and we're going to build a giant super smelter in it. So let's go ahead and see what we can do. Okay, so I've got a basic framework laid out for a 16 block super smelter, and I was going to try to do, or not a 16 block, I'm sorry, a 32 block, so 16 on either side. And I was going to try and do a 32 block, but I really wanted it in this corner because I kind of just had an affinity for a super smelter here. And I didn't want to try and like double stack it, do something weird to make it a 64 block. So we're going to stick with 16. Now, to fuel the furnace, I think kelp blocks is probably the most efficient. And I just realized that that is super dumb. I was thinking, oh yeah, I'll just have the kelp float up and then flow across into the farm. I guess that would work if I was using bamboo, but bamboo is pretty worthless compared to dried kelp blocks. So what we're going to do is install a little kelp maker down here. We're basically just going to dig this area out and then put kelp into underwater space here and then have it get broken by some pistons and then float up to the surface, flow this way into a chest. Here's where we'll craft it all into dried kelp, and then we'll send it back down into the super smelter system. So to fill up the super smelter, obviously we're going to have to run the kelp farm for a little while, but we're going to be doing other things around the base before we get down to using the super smelter to make all of our glass. So I'm sure that we'll get plenty of kelp in that time. Let's go ahead, dig this out, make a little kelp farm, maybe like 16 wide or so. And once we have the kelp farm going, then we can actually run that the whole time that we finish the design of the super smelter, of the loader, unloader, and all of that good stuff. Oh, I misspoke. We do want the kelp to go into the smelter, but not into the fuel compartment. We want it to go into the top compartment so that it can be made into dried kelp. So it may actually take us a while, or we may do some manually smelting since we have 32 extra furnaces here, of the kelp blocks until we can actually make them self-sufficient. And by self-sufficient, I just mean they'll fill up all of these full of kelp blocks. And at that time, when we have all these full of kelp blocks and then 5 extra stacks for every single one, I think will be pretty sufficient. And whenever kelp comes through, it'll cook itself into dried kelp automatically, and we'll be good to go for refueling the farm whenever we decide to craft up more kelp blocks. Alright, we have got all the pieces to this farm in place underneath. We are just now filling it in with water, making sure that we don't put any water on top of the hoppers because we want the water to flow outwards onto the hoppers, and that will make sure that all of our kelp goes into the hoppers whenever it comes up. And of course, I've deactivated the observer circuit right now because we're going to turn all of this into water source blocks with the kelp before we start running the farm. Alright, the farm is kelped all the way up, so now we can just go down and break the kelp. Then we got to go behind the scenes and work the redstone for this. So let's leave those because they're already growing naturally, and we'll just break all of this because that's unnatural growth. Now, I saw some kelp during the building of this land like right in the middle and not flow to either side. We'll see how much kelp that actually happens to here. Looks like, yeah, looks like a few pieces are getting stuck, but I'm not sure there's anything we can really do about that. So let's go out a few blocks here, and then we'll just mine straight down and hopefully hit the redstone. Yeah, right there. All right, just tested the farm, and it is working great. So whenever this kelp decides to grow itself up past 5 blocks, boom, it'll double fire. I don't know why it's double firing, but it's not that big of a deal, and that got caught. Oof. I don't know. This might not be the best design ever created, but it's a good design, I think, and it will provide what we need for the super smelter. So we'll see how much kelp we can get in here. I might leave this overnight here and just see how much kelp actually stacks up. I should probably add some chests over here. If we don't add chests, then these hoppers won't actually be able to pick up any more kelp once they're actually full of kelp. So let's grab a couple of chests out and add them on there. All right, before we end up finishing the design for this super smelter, we're actually going to go work on the next part of the project for today's episode, and the next part that we need to finish the Guardian farm. So we're going to be doing a lot of underground building during the next segment of our Guardian farm, and for that underground building, underwater building, we're going to need a conduit. So to get a conduit is pretty simple. You just need a Heart of the Sea, which I already have. Okay, I'm going to die if I keep flying around aimlessly while I talk. So we already have one Heart of the Sea. Gosh, I felt like we would have 2 or 3 by now. But it doesn't matter. Either way, we can get a conduit from one Heart of the Sea. So we need to get Nautilus shells. Now, as of now, I have 0 Nautilus shells, and this is where I would be keeping them if I did have them. But we can get those from a drowned farm. So I have been testing on my on the MaxCraft creative server for a drowned farm, and I've actually been live streaming the whole thing to my Twitch channel. So if you guys don't follow me on Twitch, I've actually started to live stream my whole recording and editing process, and that's happening over at twitch.tv/jamsterman25. So guys, go ahead and give me a follow if you guys do want to catch me making this series. So we can actually get Nautilus shells and tridents and fishing rods and all good stuff from the drown, and you can see they're all spawning here. So we need to, obviously this is not the final design, but this is a cutout of a river biome from below. So here is a super handy trick that I just figured out while I was making this. Let me, there we go, peaceful difficulty so we don't have to deal with any of those mobs. So if you guys can see right here where I've drawn the lines for this river, I was struggling and I was trying to find a mod that would do this for me. And I ran upon, whoops, those aren't grass blocks anymore, but if they were grass blocks, you would see that they're a totally different color. So in your settings, there's actually a video setting for details, and it's called Biome Blend. So mine is normally on a 5x5 biome blend, which is very nice. It looks really good and the biomes transition, but that means you get these half and half blocks. Now, if you turn that off, you can see perfect lines between the biomes. So if we go into F3 here, you'll see right now we're in a birch forest. We cross the line, we're in the desert. So that's a super easy way to outline a river biome if you're trying to create like ink sac farm or something else like that, is just to get a large grass platform in your creative server, and then you can use that grass to determine the difference between the two biomes. So I'm going to turn it back on, even though I didn't really notice it, but I was inside the whole time. So I like my Minecraft looking pretty, and I've got way more graphics power than I need to make that happen. Back on MaxCraft, and this location is not too far from our raid farm, which is over here above this ocean biome. There it is, finally loaded in. So right over here in the desert, we've gone ahead and created an outline using Lightmatica. So we're going to load up this outline, and we're going to go build way in the sky. So I'm going to have to start from down here and build a huge tower all the way up to the sky limit. So let's go ahead and get to building that drowned farm. Alright, so we have got our top outline and our bottom outline completed. So what we need to do is get a bunch of slabs. So we're going to slab the top of this, and we're going to put signs into it, and then we're going to slab a gigantic platform over the top that will make sure this whole river biome is blacked out. But first, let's get rid of this stone pillar for no reason. Okay, so taking a quick break from the drowned farm, we need to come back here and finish the super smelter because I want to use smooth stone slabs to make this whole thing look pretty. Now, let's run some sea lanterns around here just because it is looking a little dark, and I just want to make sure that we're not going to spawn any mobs up here, any creepers that'll blow my whole design up. So now the hard part, we need to make a loader unloader that will take a hopper minecart, fill it up with 32 items, and then run it around this track here. So that should be easy enough, but I'm definitely going to just copy somebody, and then we'll just create a simple unloader down here that just sort of runs on a constant loop. And of course we will hear minecart sounds in our ears till the end of time. So I actually went ahead and started loading this up with all the with all the kelp that I currently had, so that we're manually smelting that with coal, and we are getting all fresh kelp from this. So I have my spectator, oops, I had 25 kelp. Well, oh well, who cares? Anyway, I have my spectator account sitting here so that it makes sure that we're always farming the kelp blocks. We can make sure to fill this entire place up as quickly as possible. Once we have enough kelp blocks actually in the system to run all the furnaces, then the kelp will automatically be run through it, and we'll get dry kelp in the output furnace pretty constantly. Well, I don't know. We'll figure out if we're going to add more advanced systems to this later. But for now, we need to get the furnace part of this furnace array working, because that is the most important part. Okay, unloader done, simple enough. Say we just smelted up all this smooth stone. It catches it, it stops, and I know this is super slow because it's at the speed of a single hopper, but it doesn't really matter. We'll allow this stuff to just kind of work over time, and the fact of the matter is it's going to get smelted fast, so I don't know. We'll see. This might end up being too slow, considering this is running 32 hoppers into one hopper, so I may have to advance this system into a hopper minecart unloader, but we'll do a quick unloader later if we need to. Now we need to figure out the loading system, so we need to load 32 items exactly into a minecart and then run it around the track, and then load it back into the system. Okay, if we have something that resembles a super smelter, and we've built up the older system that kind of shows how many items you should get in your minecart, and I'm getting anywhere between 19 and 32, which the hope is that we'd see 32 every time consistently, but this is not the most consistent system in the world, so I'm not sure what to really do about that. Also, it glitches if items are in the chest instead of the hopper, so then we only get 3 and until the hopper fills up. So I don't know, there's obviously flaws to this. This is like a system, and the guy was like, I hope this still works in 1.8, so we're now trying to use that in 1.15, but yeah, hopefully we can get that to work. I wonder if I put this on page 2 if that will improve our results. Let me see now. That's 23. Yeah, I really don't know for now. That's gonna be pretty weird if we just let our items chill like that, but either way, all the items will eventually get smelted and sent off down to this hopper minecart, which will then unload it into this chest here. So I think we have something that will work, but right now we barely have enough kelp to fill 1 in every furnace. So I'd love to run this, do a test of this, but I'm thinking it's maybe better to wait until we get more dried kelp blocks, but that's not going to happen unless we actually put some kelp blocks in here. So let's see what this baby can do with just 1 dried kelp block in every slot, and we'll run through all the dried kelp that we have here, which we've already got a couple stacks, and we're going to get a lot more overnight when we run this, but oh my goodness, this is such a mess right now. So yeah, we'll take all this kelp and we'll see if we can't get some result. Okay, so we've gone ahead and waited overnight. It is the next morning now, so we should have lots of kelp. And wow, yes, we certainly do have a lot of kelp. This area is still such a mess. But yeah, let me clear out my inventory, and then we will pop all of this kelp into the furnaces, hopefully to then fill out. I put 1 dried kelp in each one, so we should get a stack of 20 from all of these, and then we can multiply the amount of kelp that is in each one, because it only takes 9 kelp to make a block, and then that in return will give you 20 smelts in the future. Alright, that is much better. Now we can go ahead and grab a bunch of this kelp. So because this is weird system, and I really need to fix where I input this from, because this system is so weird about whether items are in the hopper or not, I'm going to put all the items in there for now, and then we'll put them up here to eventually go in. And yeah, I left that stone block there on purpose for sure. Here we go. Oops. No! Disaster. Okay, here we go. Hopper minecart. And now we can push this in and watch it go. Whoa! Output chest is looking good. That was really quick, actually, to smelt up like a whole stack worth of this stuff. So now we can start making more and start multiplying this stuff up. I'm definitely going to keep iterating on the design, but for now I'm just going to try and get it all filled up and then cook up a bunch of this stone because I want to make smooth stone slabs for all of the platforms out at the Drown Farm. So I'll work on that, and I'll see you guys back at the Drown Farm. That is that with slabs on top of this. Now we need to actually craft up like 20,000 signs. And so I brought over all that wood that we purchased from Jord, and we're going to go ahead and craft up a ton of signs now to go into this farm. Oh gosh, signs stacked to 16. That's just beautiful. Okay, so we're going to do a couple of signs and then come back and then do a couple more signs and come back. I just realized I was trying to put in all these signs and I have to build platforms underneath anyway, so why not build the platforms underneath before putting the signs in? I was struggling so hard with trying to get those signs in the right place, and I'm just like, just put the platform underneath, and then you can just reach up there and walk all over the place, so... Oh man, derp alert. So yeah, let's do that instead. And done. We have slabbed under the whole river and we have signed the whole river. In theory, we'll find out pretty quickly once we start doing the top here. Now I'm gonna run around, I'm gonna slab this section on the top, which eventually there will be a large slab covering of the whole place. But we will slab this top, and then we're going to actually put stone underneath the whole entire river place, and then fill it in with water. And at that point, then we'll break all the stone, and we should see the water flow directly down and hit those signs and not be able to go anywhere. Fingers crossed. I will see you guys when we're ready to break out that stone and watch the river flow. And there we go. That should be the very last block of stone blocking my farm from working. And yeah, wow, this is a crazy, crazy farm. Oh, look at that. Hey guys, what's up? Oh my gosh. Oh, they have stone. Oh man, does anybody have a Nautilus shell? No, they don't. Come here, guys. Come on, bud. Come on. Come get me. Oh, can they not pathfind on this? We may just end up having to siphon them into somewhere. They don't seem to want to find the eggs. Well, there's a little guy. Okay, so apparently pathfinding does work for them, because now these guys are coming to get me. But I wonder, will they pathfind to an egg now? I gotta try and put an egg out here after I get this Nautilus shell. There we go, Nautilus shell acquired. Oh, trident. Oh, yo, that hurt a lot. Oh. Okay, wow, they're definitely coming on now. This farm is working great. Can they find this turtle egg, though? Are they going to destroy it? Obviously, I can just go get more. Potentially, if I waterlog it, they're pushing each other off the edge. Hey, guys, that is so rude. Let me see if I waterlog this, if they will... Okay, there we go. Now the turtle egg is underwater. Will they detect the turtle egg now? He's still going to try and get me, isn't he? He is laser focused. Okay, great. So... I can be bait for this. That's not a big deal. Wow, okay, the tridents are out in force. I think I'm gonna go kill these trident guys. Gosh, they're gonna kill me though. Oh, go away! Ah! Okay, one of the trident guys fell, and I'm getting out of here. Ah! Okay, I have no idea why I was doing this, but I was just playing with without my recording software open. Look at this! We got a trident! We got a trident! One of the guys came through here, and I had to snipe him with a bow. He was shooting... Look at all those tridents he shot. And, yeah, we killed him, and we got his trident. So, yeah, this is kind of my makeshift drown farm. It turns out they are able to find me at night, but not during the day. During the day, their pathfinding just kind of freezes. Anyway, so we're kind of camping out here, hoping to get more conch shells, tossing all of our rotten flesh over the edge. And, yeah, I should clean up my inventory. It's such a mess right now. Yeah, I just came over here real quick this morning after I AFK'd for more kelp at the farm overnight. And yeah, we got drown coming in. Anyway, guys, now we're just going to wait until we get 7 more conch shells. What are they called? Conch shells. Nautilus shells. And once we have those, then we'll build up that conduit. I already got another trident. Look at that, I'm breaking one. Either I'm going absolutely crazy or our plugins are completely broken. I have gotten so many tridents. Like, how did I get this many tridents? I already have 2. Oh goodness. I banked 2 tridents and I was like, oh yeah, I'll just put those away for another time. And now I've got 2 more tridents. And I'm like, I've got 4 tridents. I've only gotten 2 Nautilus shells. What is this? Oh my goodness. Well, we have a trident farm, that's for sure, but the Nautilus shells, they're gonna fight us for every single one. Well guys, I just edited all of those last clips together and I realized, wow, I can really talk forever. It is already at the 20-minute mark and that means we are out of time for today's episode. Anyway guys, I have had so much fun trying to put this thing together and just twisting my mind around all the redstone here. We've got a kelp farm that works pretty decently, and we have been slowly trying to fill up all of these furnaces with kelp. So this one is pretty full, this one's pretty full, this one less full, less full, less full. So I think what I'm going to do is actually change the system up here, and I'm going to go ahead and put a minecart here that will evenly distribute our kelp rather than trying to fill up these hoppers first with a water stream, because I just don't think we have the volume of dried kelp to do that. And then also I'm going to try and switch this to a timer system so that we get like 64 blocks in here, add some more powered rails so that only one item goes in each hopper, and then it should be able to do 1 stack, go around, come back, and then we'll have 2 items going in each hopper each time, fill up with another stack, and then go again. So I think we can get that to work in between episodes for sure. Now, over here at the drown farm, we definitely... Whoa, hey guys. We definitely also have some work to do. We need some way to automate this farm, make it a little bit faster, make it a little bit AFK. That way I can come over here and actually use the farm for a good while, collect the items up, and then make sure that we don't lose out on any Nautilus shells. Because I will guarantee that by the beginning of the next episode, we're going to fill this up all the way, 8 Nautilus shells at the very least, so that we can make a conduit and we can do the Guardian Farm finished design for next episode. So guys, look out for those improvements in the next episode. If you guys like this video, hit that like button. If you guys want to see more from the channel, more MaxCraft, more videos, hit that subscribe button. I've been Jamster and I'm out. And I'm dying. Oh no. Oh, I'm bad at flying.